surprise reversal from President Trump. He called trophy hunting, big game elephant hunting a horror show and promptly reversed a decision to allow such trophy hunting, as in Americans traveling to Africa, killing elephants, and then cutting off parts of their body to hang on the wall back home in the United States. And yes, that is Mr. Trump's son who's holding the tail of an elephant. So why did President Trump change his mind? Could be backlash, not from animal rights activists, but the conservative media. Piers Morgan responded to the initial move with outrage, accusing the president of sentencing elephants to despicable trophy hunting death. And he wasn't the only one. After Mr. Trump walked the policy change back, Morgan and others like radio talker Michael Savage and Laura Ingraham tweeted thanks. With me now, liberal talker Bill Kress and conservative talker and Trump supporter John Fredericks. Welcome to both.
Hi,
so, Bill, do you
Thanks,
suppose that's why President Trump walked this policy back?
First of all, Carol, I so seldom get an opportunity to say thank you, President Trump, that I want to take that opportunity. I think he did the right thing. I commend him for it. From what I understand, first of all, it's stunning to me that such an atrocious policy should get so far as to actually be adopted by the administration and through the Secretary of the Interior. But from what I've heard, it's not just the backlash among the conservative media. And by the way, liberal and conservative media. I mean, animal rights, and I'm a big animal rights activist, is not a partisan issue. It's across the board. People respect animals, believe they ought to be protected. But I think there was a little family feud going on here, Carol. Donald Trump Jr. is a trophy hunter, but from what I've learned from a very good source, Laura Trump, who is Eric's wife, is a big animal rights activist, and she played a big role in convincing Daddy Trump that Donald Jr. was wrong and that he ought to reverse this. And I think he'll do the right thing and make it a permanent injunction later in the week.
So, John, why did the president act on this policy in the first place? Did he know about it? Because either he didn't know about it and someone else said you really should do this, and then he got the backlash and then he changed his mind, or he did it and he didn't realize that he'd get backlash and he changed his mind. So which is it, do you suppose?
I don't think he was involved in it, Carol and Bill. I think it was bubbling up through the agencies for some time. Look, the whole thing is gross. I mean, we're at a time right now where shooting elephants and taking their heads home and tails and, you know, the heads of lions. I mean, we're just in a different time now. I think the president made the right decision in reversing that. However it came to be, you're the president. You got to make some good decisions, tough decisions. He made the right one. Let me tell you something else. Never underestimate the power of the daughter-in-law in any family. They have a lot of power. And maybe that was it. I mean, look, Bill knows this. I knows this. They're very powerful, Bill. And maybe she got the president's ear, but, you know.
It's true, and they're all going to sit down together for Thanksgiving at Mar-a-Lago very soon.
Oh, yeah.
So there you have it.
That's right. Respect.
Laura Trump, my new hero.
Jeez. All right, so a slightly different topic.
Man, they got a lot of power.
All right, so a slightly different topic, Bill. Fox and Friends. Fox and Friends actually pushed Kellyanne Conway to answer questions about Roy Moore. Listen.
The RNC has withdrawn support for Roy Moore. Mitch McConnell's withdrawn support. So is the young Republicans withdrawn for support for
a lot
Roy
of
Moore.
women.
Right, and you know what? I just want everybody to know Doug Jones, nobody ever says his name, and they pretend that he's some kind of conservative Democrat in Alabama, and he's not.
Kellyanne,
and yes.
Will the president be going back down to Alabama to campaign on behalf of Roy Moore before the special election?
There's no plan to do that. The president is going to continue traveling around the country on tax cuts and other issues, yes.
So, Bill, if Fox and Friends pushed it farther and they started talking really bad about Roy Moore, do you think President Trump would change his mind and actually say something definitive about Mr. Moore?
No. I think it's very disappointing. The president promised when he got back from Asia he would deal with this issue. He has sent Sarah Huckabee Sanders out to say that the president finds the actions or the accusations troubling, is her word. But President Trump himself has not condemned Roy Moore. He has not told the people of Alabama what he thinks they should do, or Republicans how he thinks they should vote. And I think, frankly, Carol, it's because of his own background. And he knows it would backfire He's in a very delicate situation. He can't support Roy Moore, and he won't condemn him because he's been accused of doing the same thing, if not worse.
So John, you're a Trump supporter. What's your take?
That's just a ridiculous statement that Bill made. This has nothing to do with the president. The president has denied all these allegations. They all are. Look, they've all been discredited. The person on the airplane, there was a witness there. That never happened. All these things, these have all been litigated. They're all false. Here's the bottom line.
No, they have not been litigated, and they're not all false. We don't know whether they're false or not. They have not been litigated.
Well, there was one accusation on an airplane, and there was a witness that sat right by them in their first-class seat and said this never happened. She made it up. That was the end of it. You never heard of this again, and he got elected.
Well, then why didn't Mr. Trump carry through with his threat to sue her?
Yes.
Well, he probably ought to when he has the time, but this is the thing. Do you think the voters of Alabama are stupid or not? That's really the question. If you think they're intelligent people that have a right to decide for themselves who their Senate representative is, and you believe that they're intelligent, then they're either going to choose Doug Jones or Roy Moore based on the evidence that is percolating in Alabama. Everybody is aware of it. So if you think they're intelligent, they're going to make the right decision. You're taking the position that the voters of Alabama are too stupid to choose their own representative. It's an incredible elitist system or position to take.
John, wait, just a minute, right? We're not stupid enough to believe that. The president is the head of the Republican Party, okay? These allegations haven't been proven false against him. None of them were litigated. There's, in fact, one case that is still open and pending before the New York Supreme Court. The fact that he denies doing it doesn't mean it never happened. And as the leader of the Republican Party, the president has an obligation to say, do I want this man in the United States Senate? Is he the man that the Republicans want in the United States Senate? If he had any moral principle at all, he would say, like Mitch McConnell has done, Paul Ryan has done, so many Republican senators have done, no, we don't want Roy Moore. The silence of Donald Trump is deafening.
All right, I have to leave it there. Bill,
it's not silence.
John Fredericks.
He's saying that it's up to the voters of Alabama.
Thanks,
it's not silence at all.